What's up, rock stars? It's Rocks with the 21st installment of Black Girls on Television. Y'all, this is video number 6 for the week. When I tell you bitches tired of doing videos, you guys, y'all better not say nothing about me not doing no damn videos in the future. I'm just kidding. It's all good, you guys. It's just rough. I don't know how people that vlog every day do it. It is just hard to be on every single day, you guys. Someday I treasure my one day off on Wednesdays when I have to do a video so I could just kind of sit and just do nothing on my lunch break. So this shit every day is for the damn birds, y'all. Promise you it is. Anyway, you guys, Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder was both confusing. I was able to kind of figure out what's what, but I was just like, this is entirely too much, especially How to Get Away with Murder. Way too much. They're gonna have to do something with Viola. Now listen, I know that she was a movie star before she was a television star, so they worked her contract so that she only had to do so many episodes. Just in case the show was not a hit, she could still go and work and do, movies. But now that the show is a fucking hit and people want to have more episodes, I don't know how long her contract is on this little shortened seasons that she has now, but whenever they rework her contract, bitch, we gonna have to get with more than these few episodes that y'all do, because Scandal still has like 10 episodes left. How to Get Away with Murder is already done for the season, won't be back until like September. It's like, it makes no sense. So yeah, Viola girl, you gonna have to listen. Make a choice. Okay, I think we know now the show is a hit. So yeah, I can't with all these real short seasons. But anyway, you guys, the reviews, let's get to it, shall we? Alright, so you guys know that Liv has still got her eye on Jake, trying to figure out what's going on with him, her father, his new girlfriend, with him being the head of the NSA. And that damn Jake ain't gonna let a chance go by where he can't remind us. I was like, how many times he gonna say he the head of the damn NSA? We already know Jake. She's over at the house, they're celebrating Jake's impending nuptials. He and Olivia are googly-eyeing and, kind of staring each other down across the table while, Papa Pope and Vanessa all giggle along, unaware of the tension. Well, actually, I'm sure Papa Pope knows, but yeah, Vanessa, yeah. She might know it too, because, all of this is just so weird to me. While they're there talking, the gladiators are over at Jake's house installing cameras because, like I said, Olivia wants to know what's going on. Alright, once they're done, they send Olivia a text. So obvious. She looks at her phone and then she's like, I gotta go. Jake looks at her like, what's that about? Always a couple of steps ahead of her. But we'll get back to that in a minute, you guys. Quinn is all concerned about the fact that Olivia doesn't seem to be interested in Pope and Associates anymore. She tells Abby, but Abby don't want to hear it because Abby is more concerned with the fact that Cyrus is trying to run Vargas's presidential campaign. He's a turncoat. Vargas is a Democrat, Cyrus is a Republican, and he has been with Fitz all this time, who's also a Republican. So, Abby knows that she's got something up under her sleeve, but it hasn't been confirmed. Now, Melly, also one that's going to be running for president, she needs money. She thinks of her dear old friend Hollis Doyle. You guys remember him, the Texas oil tycoon who had them in all that trouble a few years back. Well, she's going to meet with him. Olivia says it's a bad idea, but she goes on ahead and meets with him anyway. She's trying to get a hold of this money. Hollis Doyle is exactly the way you remember him, oily, slick, salesmanish, but very much a billionaire. And sometimes those are the very people that you've got to impress to get the money out of them, okay? Put you in the mindset of Donald Trump. I'm sure that that's who they're going to model him after. And we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Back at Pope and Associates, Huck is still obsessed with watching his wife and son at these soccer games. Okay, he notices that his wife is now seeing some dude. And Huck has worked it up in his mind that this dude that the wife is seeing is a gentleman named Six Toes, somebody who tried to kill him back in the past. So now he's obsessed with getting a hold of this man, okay, so he can kill him before the man kills his family. He thinks that this man is trying to get back at him through his ex-wife and his son. Another person who's trying to get a hold of some of Hollis Doyle's money is Elizabeth. She feels like Susan needs some of his money for her campaign run. Okay, Fitz doesn't think that that's a good idea because Fitz hates Hollis Doyle. So everybody is trying to get a hold of this Doyle money. Mellie is trying to talk to Olivia about it. Olivia cannot be concerned because she's too busy watching Jake and his wife to be start the preliminary sessions of a fuck fest in his apartment. And they're kissing. Mellie is talking and Olivia's watching the screen. And then all of a sudden, in a creepy kind of Jake way, he didn't became a creep almost. He looks up at the camera that Olivia and them have hidden somewhere, and he just kind of looks up at it like, huh, you like that, don't you? Watch me do this. She shuts off the TV. Now she knows she's busted. Sure enough, the next morning he comes over and he's just like, oh, this is pitiful. This is even below you. Why are you watching us? And she was just like, well, what are you guys trying to do? He was like, listen, she's a good woman. She's beautiful. She's perfect. And she loves me for me. She's not all into all of the power and the shit that you do. You know what? She gets her nails done, bitch. You know, reads the Vogue magazine in the mornings. And I love that about her. Olivia's still not believing it. She's a mark. And he was just like, no, you just can't believe that I done moved on from your ass. But let me ask you this. Did you enjoy watching us? Did you get off when she got off? Olivia. All that fucking quivering, y'all. She get on my goddamn nerves so bad. Since Abby is on to Cyrus, she confronts him about it. And Cyrus tries to hem and haw his way around it. She keeps on telling him he's lying. Okay, till finally he admits, okay. He asked me to, you know, run his campaign, but I haven't accepted. I made a mistake. I'm not gonna do it. Please don't tell Fitz. I need this job. I love this job and all that. You know, Abby is thinking to herself like, oh shit, I can get this job. I can become chief of staff. All this hard fucking work is not for nothing. She goes and tells Olivia, look, I got the juice on Cyrus. He's gonna run Vargas's campaign. I go and tell Fitz, I'll be able to get his job, basically. And Olivia's just like, hold on, you know, slow your roll now. You know, you done got a little too close to the Oval Office. You can smell the power. It's you know, it's seducing you. It's bringing you closer. But I'm telling you, once you get in there, you know, it changes you. You're a good person. You're a nice person. That is just so not you. So you might want to think about it really long and hard if you really do want that chief of staff position, because it turns you into a monster. You become something different. And Abby, honey, she got her eye on the monsterdom. Back at Pope and Associates, you know, Quinn is there, and like I said, she's annoyed that, you know, she seems to be the only one doing the work at Pope and Associates. You know, Olivia's never around. That's what she was telling Abby earlier. Charlie comes there and is like, listen, Huck came down, we had lunch together, whatever, and he's showing me this picture of this guy and saying that, you know, this is Six Toes. At the same time, Marcus walks in and he sees the picture and he's like, oh, that's Huck's wife and kid, and, you know, that's the guy. And they, you know, figure out that, oh my goodness, Huck is going to do something to this man who the wife and kid is seeing. You know, Quinn was like, why didn't you say anything? He's like, oh, what the fuck, I'm supposed to know that Huck is crazy and he gonna go kill somebody because he, you know, I thought he was just watching the boy play soccer. So Quinn is pissed, she's annoyed, you know. They go and tell Olivia, all right, we gotta find Huck because he gonna chop up Six Toes and, you know, all of this. So they get on the road. They trying to find Huck. Huck is in the car, pulls up on, just so happens, you know, Six Toes is on the side of the road. His car is broke down and Huck is like, you know, I'll help you. I'll give you a ride down to the gas station. And the guy is like, oh, gee, thanks. Just like, who jumps in the car with people like that? Bitch, I'm gonna walk my ass way far before I get in the car with somebody. Like, well, this is 2016. We don't do that, okay? But anyway, man gets in the car, you know, and Huck, you know, he turns his crazy on, passes the gas station. The man is just like, wait a minute, where are we going? And Huck was just like, you know, my name's not so-and-so, whatever he told him. He was like, I'm about to kill your motherfucking ass, basically. The guy is looking like, oh my God, I shouldn't have got in this car. No, you shouldn't have got in the car. Olivia and them, they get down there where they think that Huck would be. And of course, Huck's car is empty. Ain't no Huck. Ain't no Six Toes. So now they're all frustrated and upset because they know that Huck is probably gonna kill this guy. Quinn and and Olivia, they're arguing out in the middle of nowhere. Quinn is just pissed. Like, you bitch, you ain't been around. That's why Huck has gone off the deep end. You got this damn business. You kicked us to the curb, went to the White House, and then all of a sudden you was all powerful, all knowing, all omnipotent. And then when he got tired of fucking on you and he kicked you out, then you came on back here, but you don't even care about this place. You look at us like, we ain't shit. Why do you hate us so much? I thought it was quite dramatic, you guys. I was just like, what the hell do you care? I mean, Olivia ain't really been in it for a long time. She's been so damn distracted with Jake and Fitz. But whatever. She was just like, Olivia, she's walking off and then she walks back up to her and is like, I was kidnapped. I was kidnapped and I was sold on the market. I was taken away and now I'm back and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I don't owe anybody anything. I was like, oh, what does this all mean? You guys explain all that to me, okay? Why don't you just admit, bitch, I don't feel like it no damn more? That's what she need to say. Hell, I pay you guys good enough, don't I? You can run this motherfucker. I can go do something else. Shit, if I want to go sit my ass down in the middle of nowhere, I should know that Pope and Associates is okay. So, bitch, get out of my face. That's what the hell she should have said. But all this, her being kidnapped and child, while they in the middle of arguing, here come Huck out the bushes. He got the man on his shoulder. He puts him down on the ground. The man looked like he dead. And Huck was like, no, he wasn't 6 toes. Later on, we find out that he actually had drugged the guy. And I guess checked his information. And then realized that wasn't a person. So I guess they set the man back up in his car. Man just gonna think that he fell asleep. Got some special drug that just wipes away all your memory. This is also the time that Huck realizes that, he needs to stop following his wife and his son. It's not healthy for him. He's assuming too much. He needs to just let that part of his life go. I think that's probably the best thing for Mr. Huck at this point. But let's get back to the White House. So Fitz meets with Hollis Doyle along with Susan. Because Hollis Doyle kind of has that down south charm, even though he's smarmy. Susan and him kind of hit it off. They're talking about the economy. They're talking about the environment. And all of a sudden, Fitz, I'm not sure if it's his pride or what, but basically he blows the whole talk there because, he's like, we're not going to take your money. We don't need anything from you. Hollis was like, oh, okay, well, then motherfucker, I take my money and I get on up out of here. So now that Hollis knows that he didn't got to give his money to Susan and Fitz, he goes back and he talks to Mellie. Mellie is telling him all her ideas, telling him, her campaign slogan is going to be Embrace America's Tomorrow, and that she's going to announce running for her presidency. So, I guess she's thinking this conversation that she's having with Hollis Doyle means that she's going to get the support of him and the money that she needs. Now, back with Abby, she done thought long, hard about it. She goes and tells Fitz, you know what? Cyrus is a turncoat. He's now going to run Vargas's presidential campaign. At first, it looks like Fitz is just going to roll over. He's like, that'll be all, Abby. She's like, what? That'll be all? That'll be all. He gets on my fucking nerves too. He thinks that Cyrus always wins and you know what, he's not even gonna worry himself about it. But Abby was like, oh hell no you're not. You gonna fire his ass and I'm gonna become the best damn chief of staff you ever have. I can be a damn monster too. Bitch, I got it in me. So yeah, fire him and I'll move it right on down the hall. So after she give him the whole pump up speech, he was like, okay, well then fire his ass. She was just like, oh, I gotta do it. He was like, yep, you fire him. You want the job, that's what you gotta do. Okay, that's the job. Fire him. When you do it, let me know. So that's what she does, honey. She goes in there, you know, takes a big gulp of air, walks in the office, tells Cyrus, you know what, I'm gonna need your badge. And he looks up at her like, damn. So you told Fitz. And she was like, I'm gonna need your badge, clean your shit out, security will be down here in 15 minutes. And he was like, you really told? Ain't this about a bitch? Wasn't even sure if he was mad or sad or upset. He was just kind of looking like, She was like, yeah, they wanted to come do it right away. I at least gave you 15 minutes, so get your shit together and you up out of here. Cyrus is still just kind of looking at her, and then she goes, she's sorry. I was like, bitch, I bet you are. It's the makings of a monster, you guys. Now, all of a sudden on the TV, we see Hollis Doyle, and he's announcing that he's running for president. He puts you in the mindset of Donald Trump. He's the billionaire, outspoken, okay, kind of oily, greasy, little bit of charm, enough to win people over. So I'm sure that that's who they're modeling him after. But anyway, he says that he's running for presidency and he's got the money to do it. And he announces that his slogan is "Embrace America Tomorrow." So Melly is watching it on. She's like, this motherfucker stole my campaign. Okay, see, that's why you got to keep your shit close to the vest. Can't be letting everybody know all your moves. All right, because this is exactly what happened. So now we got Susan running for president. We got Vargas running for president. We got Melly running for president. We got Doyle running for president. It's going to be an interesting race, you guys. I guess Olivia has had a few talks with herself. She gets to thinking about her conversation. She get to thinking about her argument with Quinn. So one day while she's at the office, she just walks up to her while she's sitting at the table with Marcus, and she was just like, the reason why I let you do everything is because I know you'll handle it. I know that I can run off to an island and sit there on my ass for a year, and I know that you'll handle everything at this office. I trust you. You know, whatever she tells her. Some, Shonda speeches. Y'all know how Shonda liked to do these big old speeches. Even Abby had her big old monster speech. But she tells her basically, that's why I don't have to worry about it. I know you will keep this place afloat. Bitch, I trust you with my everything. That's enough for Quinn. I don't know why Quinn didn't realize that, but I guess sometimes we just need to hear it. Now that Olivia's getting shit off her chest, she meets with Jake, and she's telling him, listen, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have been following you, but I was jealous, and I miss you. I know it wasn't cool that I wouldn't choose between you and Fitz. It wasn't fair. I guess she was just like, but I'm choosing now. Okay, bitch, you ain't got much of a choice. All right, Fitz is fucking everybody. He ain't thinking about Olivia right now. He's just kind of looking at her like, well, okay. While they're sitting there talking, then here comes Vanessa. He's like, well, I'll go get you guys some drinks. When he gets up, he bumps into Vanessa, and her phone drops out of her hand. And this is where I was confused, you guys. And you guys will definitely have to fill in the blanks for me, like I always ask you each week. I did not understand the flashback that Olivia had. Now, granted, it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning because I had missed the first running of Scandal, and then I had to watch How to Get Away with Murder. Anyway, I was kind of asleep, half sleep and tired, but I just didn't remember what all this cracked screen and her remembering some shit and some shit that Jake has said. So yeah, you guys, I hate when I don't understand shit. It makes my reviews feel like it's, it ain't gonna make sense to you guys, but maybe you guys know what all that was about. Can you please fill me in? Now, How to Get Away with Murder, Anna Mae and hightailed it on down to Tennessee to see her mama. Everybody back at Annalise Keaton and Associates, they're all worried about where she might be. They don't know that she's gone to Tennessee. All they know is that she's missing. All they know is that Caleb is missing. So everybody is frantic. Laurel stumbles in, all hungover, and, once they're like, bitch, where you been? She's hungover. Why? What's going on? They tell her Annalise is missing, and she remembers that she told Annalise about Sam, Lila, and her pregnancy. And so now she's starting to feel bad, like, damn, am I the reason why she went away? She tells Frank that, and Frank was just like having like all these emotions and shit. He gets a flashback of, you guys remember last week when I told you that she was just like, nigga, the only reason why you work for me is because I was trying to save you from the damn trailer park. Okay, well, we get that same flashback. What we see this time, though, is that when he's walking out of the room, he puts a bug underneath one of the tables. We also see that, remember, he had picked up this chick, some random hoe in the bar. Well, it turns out she's not really that random. She asked him to put this bug under this table. We don't really know why. And she gave him a big ass bag of money. She was just like, how long are you gonna be Annalise's bitch? Like, basically, take this money and do something for your own self. He takes the money. Now, the present day Annalise, like I said, she's down there at her mama house. It's the next morning. She is in that bed, bonnet on, scarf tied over the bonnet. Her sister is in the bed with her, startles her. I always wish I had a sister. It just always makes me feel like it's something special between sisters, but whatever. They giggling, laughing about certain shit. The sister is just like, how long you gonna be here? And Lisa's like, don't you even worry about it. And while she's in the bed, mama comes to the door like, you know what, you need to get yourself up, go take a shower. She'll go take a shower. Like, why is she talking like that? Why is the mama talking like that? That is not how Cicely Tyson talks. I guess she got to get her Tennessee on, but whatever. She is going to have a get together. All right. And we already know that Annalise ain't been there in a month of Sundays, so Mama done invited everybody in Tennessee down there to come see old Anna Mae. Anna Mae ain't up to all of this shit, but she's there, and she's gonna try to make the best of it. So, you know, you got Uncle Willie and Auntie Jane and, you know, all the little kids running around and everybody just there, and, you know, Annalise is just like, this is so not me. But she trying to make it work, y'all. You know how it is when you get around your extra ghetto family. We love them, but they be doing the most. While she's talking to one of her uncles, I think, she notices that he has on an old jacket of Sam's. I guess when Sam died and her mom was down there visiting her, you know, she took a lot of Sam's old clothes. Annalise didn't want them anymore, and the mom was like, we ain't gonna get rid of this. This is perfectly fine clothes. I'm gonna take it on up there to Tennessee, and I'm gonna give it to somebody down there that can wear it. Okay, so just so happened the uncle has it on, so, you know, that kind of reminds Annalise of, you know, the damn grief that she's trying to get away from. She kind of takes a breather from old Uncle Willie, and who should walk up but Daddy Annie Mae. He's just like, hey, Annie Mae. And she just looks at him like, I know you're not talking to me. There's some tension between the two of them. We don't know why. She ignores him, walks away, ain't got shit to say to him. Now, back at the house, Nate shows up and he tells him that the DA is putting out an arrest warrant for Annalise, and he also knows where Annalise is. She's in Tennessee. They're like, what the hell is she doing in Tennessee? Oh, that's where the mama is. So now the kids are trying to figure out, you know, what's the ramifications of this arrest warrant. Michaela wants Oliver to hack into the system to look at the arrest warrant. Bonnie is like, no, we not doing that. Back out in Tennessee, Annalise is grilling her mom about the fact that she's back with Daddy, okay? And the mom is just like, listen, he was left and he came back, and I want him to be here, and that's it. Annalise was like, don't you get tired of letting the nigga go and then coming back and going and coming back? She was just like, yeah, but you know what? I can't worry about that. All I know is he's here. He makes me happy. We have a good time together. You act like he beat me or something. I guess that mama was like, honey, old ding is better than no ding. You don't like it? That's too damn bad. Me and your daddy is back together. Well, you know, Annalise, she's stubborn. She is not feeling it at all. Again, back at the house, Wes is telling Laurel that, you know, Mahoney is probably his father. He's got that look in his face. She's like, you can't go and check that out. I mean, we don't know that for a fact. And he was like, I just gotta know. He's just one of those kind of people that always gotta know what the fuck is going on. Gets on my damn nerves. He's so cute, though. You got all the men on here just so fucking fine. While they're having this heated and heavy discussion and kind of real close, a little bit too intimate just for, you know, two people that normally just was students, you know, in class together. Frank busts in and he sees it, so he's already on to something that's going on here. So he's talking to Laurel, and he's like, you know, she was just like, we just kissed one time, and it was just because we were talking about our fathers, and, you know, and he was just like, well, what about your father? And she was like, you don't know my father? He's just a monster. And he was just like, no. And she was like, well, and Wes thinks that, you know, Mahoney is his father. Frank gets this look on his face like, oh my God. Acts like he don't know nothing about it, but we know that Frank knows a whole lot more. Back in Tennessee, Annalise is trying to grapple with all of this shit. Daddy back. She's seeing Sam's jackets on her damn family. Everybody getting on her fucking nerves. Mama didn't left the damn burner on. So now we know that the mama's getting older, forgetful. She's mad about that. She sees a sister, and she was like, where's mama? You know, she's gone, and, you know, she left the burner on. What about this with Daddy? He done came back. Is he staying here? You know, the sister is just like, yeah, he's here. And, you know, Annalise just can't come to grips with why all this is happening. The sister was like, you're not even here. Mama needs companionship. She needs help. She wants the man to be here. They have this whole conversation / argument about, you know, who's taking care of the mama. Sis is like, well, listen, I work 2 damn jobs basically while you up there at your Ivy League school teaching kids how to get away with fucking murder. I also have to come home from that job and take care of mama. While they having this argument, you know, mama, Annie Mae, somebody's here for you. And it turns out it's that damn Nate. Oh, you guys, I was having such lustful thoughts. I was thinking to myself, like, when did Nate, I mean, I ain't never really, you know, but it was something about Nate showing up at that house. I was like, Roxanne. But Annalise goes out and talks to Nate outside, and the mama and the sister is at the damn window. Nate's looking out like, motherfucking show is fine. I was cracking up that they put that in the show because, man, when they were talking, that was the same way I was, just looking like, They have such good chemistry together, you guys. I just was like, oh yeah. Anyway, Nate is trying to convince Annalise to come back. All right, you know, to face this Warren head on. And Annalise is like, all the shit that I done been through, don't you think that I deserve the right to run away for a while? So he realizes he probably won't get anywhere with Annalise, and, you know, he's about to leave, and the mom was like, oh no, baby, you ain't going nowhere. Nothing as fine as you is leaving my house today. You gonna come in here and you gonna eat some lunch with us. We gonna sit down and we gonna grill you about how you gonna get with my damn daughter. Nate is making light of the situation. You know, he asking him all these questions. Are you married? Annalise says he's widowed. Does he have any kids? And he is like, no. And she was like, well, I know the women is breaking down your door to, you know, to make a few. I was like, or at least to practice shit. And Nate was just like, well, it ain't like a couple haven't tried. They was like, I know that's right. I was like, oh, you guys, I'm telling you, maybe I'm fertile right now. Maybe that's what it is. If somebody just come, you know, sniff at my ass a little bit. Woo, shit. What was I saying, y'all? They get to talking about kids and how there's so much work. Dad says, yeah, you know, kids are a lot. Annalise was like you would know. The mama was like, do we have a problem, Annalise? She was like, not with you. And then next thing you know, they didn't put on some music. I guess they gonna dance the tension away. So it's just Annalise and the father left at the table. Daddy say, you know what, maybe I should just leave. And the mama was like, oh no, you not. Annalise, you need to quit acting like a fucking baby. Maybe if you had some of your own damn kids, you wouldn't be so hard on everybody. Well, this ain't the shit that Annalise wants to hear. She gets up. Fuck it. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna give me some drinks. And I'm gonna dance my ass off too. Yeah, she was down there. I said, do it, Annalise. She was just like, I got my drink. Bitch, that was the fucking dance right there. Now, back at the house, like I said, them kids is going crazy. Got Michaela and Asher. They trying to first say it was no big deal, you know, that they had kissed and fucked in the bathroom at the bar. Next thing you know, they on top of each other again, kissing and all of that. Then finally, Michaela comes to her senses, jumps up like, okay, no, we can't do this. They still trying to figure out what to do with this arrest warrant. Something about it got redacted. There's another part where I just didn't understand. I didn't froze it and rewound it and listened, and I was just like, what are they talking about? I don't get it. Fill me in there, you guys. But anyway, back at the house, Annalise sees her mom in the kitchen. And, you know, the mom is just like, maybe you drank too much. He's talking all out the side of your damn neck. You done ran your damn daddy off. And Annalise was like, I had a baby, mama. Okay. The baby did not live. And the mom is shocked. She realizes that maybe this is the reason why her daughter has become so fractured. And Annalise walks Nate out to the car. You know, it's nighttime now. She's just happy to be in his arms. They kiss, they hug. I was just like, oh, I really want Annalise and Nate to make it. Anyway, she goes back in the house and the mom is just like, so why didn't you tell me? And she was just like, well, I was going to tell you when I had the baby. But the baby didn't make it. So there was no reason to tell you. Mama was like, see, it's too much. This is why all this shit is going on. Your life is spiraling out of control. You know, Annalise doesn't want to hear it. Walks off like, you know what, mama, I can't, not tonight. When she goes to bed, she's asleep. It's the middle of the night. The mom comes in there and tells her, you know, to come with me. Come on with me. Come outside. Go outside. And the mom has a pen and paper. And she was just like, you need to write a note to your baby. Write a note, all the feelings that you feel, and you put it in there and you're going to bury it in the ground. Annalise at first is like, this is silly. I'm not doing it. But as soon as she said that, she also takes the paper and the pen from her. And she starts writing all her feelings down. And you guys, again, I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. She writes out everything she feels, and then she gets down on the ground and she's shoveling the dirt. She's digging a grave. She's digging a grave. She's digging a grave. And I was just like, oh my God. If she don't fucking win an award for this, you guys, when she turned around and grabbed her mother by the waist, you know, and she was on her knees and she was just crying, I was just like, oh my God, I had tears. My kids was like, Mom, really? And I was just like, you guys are not watching, you're not understanding the gravity of the situation here. I said, this bitch is acting her ass off. Just that scene, you know, she has like these scenes that are just so memorable, and that's gonna be one that I remember for a long time. Anyway, back at Annalise's house, Frank and Bonnie are talking. Okay, and it's all this hush hush, like, you know, are you gonna say anything? And she's gonna want to kill me. And, you know, Bonnie's like, no, she's not gonna want to do that. And, you know, Frank is like worried, and we still don't understand why he's worried. Bonnie tells him, listen, don't do anything stupid. And he was like, I'm not gonna do anything stupid. But I'm thinking to myself, like, what is there to do anything stupid about? Well, Frank has another flashback. Now in the flashback, we see Annalise is having a conversation with the white lady lesbian lover. Remember when they were talking about how Annalise wanted her to lie and say that Wes's mom had said that the Mahoney's was making her lie about the son being at a certain place at a certain time. Remember that conversation? Well, the Mahonies was listening on in that conversation. That's when we realized that Frank placed that bug for the Mahonies in the room, in Annalise's hotel room. They were listening to that conversation. All right. So, or no, maybe it wasn't them listening to the conversation. Maybe it was Frank that was listening to the conversation. And so when Annalise was like, forget it, I'll do it myself. Remember, she just grabs her shit and she goes and gets in her car. That is when... See, this is where I'm confused. I think Frank called Mahoney and told him, like, okay, she's leaving. And then Mahoney, I'm assuming he was talking to Frank on the phone. Mahoney was just like, okay, well, take care of it. And then next thing you know, you see a car come flying and crashing into the side of Annalise's car. Okay, and of course we know that that's how she ended up losing her baby. So then I was just like, damn, is Frank the person that ran into the side of her car? But still, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, no, Frank wouldn't do nothing like that, would he? But obviously, if Frank wasn't a person driving, he was very heavily involved, and that's why he's had this guilty face the whole damn episode. Now, all this talk about hacking to systems, we done got Oliver to hack into the DA's office camera to see who might be the rat that's telling the DA what's going on, because this arrest warrant, why is Annalise the only one that has an arrest warrant out for him? So they're looking at it, and we don't see who the person is, but you know, they see like, oh my God, that's him. You know, they go and tell Bonnie and Frank. Back in Tennessee, it's the next morning after Annalise had this whole touching moment with her mom. Oh my God, when she said that the baby's name was Sam. Oh my God. You guys, it was so sad. I mean, it was really, really heavy. The dad shows back up again. He's trying to be nice to Annalise. Annalise has no times for the games. He's like, I'm sorry that I abandoned you, you know, that I hurt you. And she was just like, why are you here? And he's like, because I love her. And she was like, you love her, but you leave her all the time. And he was like, you know what? I did a lot of running. I made a lot of mistakes. But I know that when I come here to her, she reminds me of who I am. Okay, and you should know that better than anybody else, because Annalise always comes back to her mom when shit is just so way out of control. She was like, aren't you sick of just going and coming back and going and coming back? Why don't you just go away? Okay, she just has still no patience for the daddy, even though I think he did strike a chord with her, you know, with that conversation. Anyway, her phone is going off. She finally picks it up. She listens to her messages. Everybody is calling. Oh my God, Annalise, you got to come back. We're so sorry. We shouldn't have said that. You know, Laurel, she shouldn't have told her about Sam. Everybody is telling her that she needs to come back. The DA tells her that he's going to give her to the end of that day to bring her ass down and turn herself in, or else he's going to send all of the folks down to the mama house in Tennessee. While she's listening to all these messages, the phone clicks in. It's Michaela. She answers it. She's like, oh my God, Annalise, I'm so glad you answered. Annalise, what the fuck you want? You got 2 minutes to say it or I'm going to hang up this phone. Michaela's like, we know who the rat is. It's Caleb. He wasn't missing. He was just down at the police station and he's telling everything. So, you know, Annalise is just like, shit is real fucked up right now. She calls Nate. I hate to do this to you, but I really need your help. So we know that Annalise has a plan in action. She take it on back home and she goes to the DA's office. The DA was just like, oh, you done finally made it in here. She was like, yeah, but I don't understand what I'm being arrested for. And he was just like, oh, you know, obstruction of justice, manipulating a witness. Caleb told us that you forced his confession, that you made one of your students go and seduce him and get his feelings involved, and then you demanded 6 figures from him so that we would never know. That's what we arresting you on right now. Okay, and I'm sure it's more shit to come later on down the line. And she was just like, yeah, well, if you believe all that, then you believe a sociopathic liar. Then she starts to lay out the whole thing for him. And this is where I was just like, now this is a whole bunch of fucking lot. So you guys just, y'all stick with me. We're going to try to get through this together. She says, Phillips told her that Caleb killed the aunt. We get a flashback of when she's fighting with Philip. Remember when she ran out the door and then she turned around as soon as she got to the door, and I said that was a flaw in Shonda Rhimes' writing? I apologize, Shonda. It wasn't a white woman moment after all. Turns out that Philip, and somebody in my comments, only one person said, I felt like something happened and that was why she turned around at the door, and we were able to see that. So whoever said that in my comments, you were right on it, honey. Turns out that Philip stops her and says, Caleb killed my mom. And Philip was like, I have proof of it on this Fitbit or whatever them things are called, those jogging bracelets, you know, maps how many calories you burn and how many miles you ran and all that shit. Well, evidently Caleb had that on when he killed the aunt. And it lines up exactly that he was at that same location. The aunt died on the same day, the same night, you know, yada, yada, yada. The DA was like, well, Catherine had already confessed. Well, we see Nate at the jail talking to Catherine, and Catherine is telling him, like, yeah, me and my brother, we used to get together every night. We wasn't fucking or nothing. We used to do other things. Little oral play, I suppose. Kissing, hugging. You know, they're siblings, but they're really not blood siblings. They're adopted, but that's still kind of gross, right? But on the particular night that Auntie Racist died, it was the same night that Caleb was not in his room when Catherine went there to lay up with him. Catherine is just like, and I protected him because I loved him. I was in love with him. Before she tells Nate all this, I forgot to tell you guys that Philip was on the phone with her, and you just see him with a baseball cap on. He's just like, tell him everything that you know. It's okay. Tell him just what you told me. So Annalise is laying all this out for the DA. The DA is just sitting there listening like, really? Well, why was Philip's DNA at the location where the aunt died? And Annalise says, well, Caleb planted the evidence the same way that Caleb planted the gun in Catherine's bedroom and made it seem like she was the one that did it, okay? Because with all them out of the way, he would be the only heir to these millions and billions of dollars that the parents had. So then the DA was just like looking at her like, I don't know about all of that. And she was like, and see, you ought to be worried about it because you arresting a law-abiding citizen, a very powerful lawyer here in this city on some bullshit. He says, well, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm not believing it. I know who the killer is. She says, oh, you mean Philip? Well, you can talk to Philip yourself. And then the camera pans around and Philip is actually at the police station. He's ready to spill all the beans. He turns himself in. Okay, he got the full story. Now suddenly they're looking at Caleb as the killer. And that's the big answer to the whodunit, you guys. The kids are all at the house and they're looking at the news. Bonnie tells everybody, you know what, y'all need to take it on home. Annalise is coming home. She ain't gonna want to see you guys. She also sends Frank away. But I'ma handle this. You need to just go home. You don't need to be here. You know, Frank is still real worried. Like, oh my God, oh my God. The camera goes to Caleb's house and you see a trail of blood in the bathroom, and then Caleb is in the fucking tub and he's dead and he's done killed himself, you guys, and there's just blood everywhere. And I was just like, no, he's so fucking fine. We also see that even though Oliver did get into Stanford, he hurries up and turns him down because he doesn't want to leave. So Annalise gets home and Bonnie's the only one there. And, you know, Bonnie is always kind of, she's always guarded, like kind of like, okay, Annalise, I gotta tell you something. I don't need you to go off. So then she was just like, Frank was only doing what he was told to do. And that's when we get the flashback. And now we get the full understanding of what happened. Frank is at the hospital right after Annalise loses the baby. Sam is at the vending machine. Frank goes and tells Sam, it's my fault. Okay, the Mahonies told me to do this. I gotta tell Annalise, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. You know, Sam was like, you ain't telling her shit because she's already fragile. This has already fucked everything up, and don't you say nothing. But you owe me. And he held that over Frank's head the whole time after that. So 10 years of you owe me. Fast forward to the present, Sam then got Lila pregnant, and he knows that Annalise ain't gonna go for that considering she lost the baby and how it happened and everything. So he has Frank kill Lila. So Bonnie telling Annalise all of that, and Annalise was like, bullshit, I don't give a fuck. It's both of them that messed everything up. Frank and Sam. And where the fuck is Frank anyway? I just want everybody to leave me alone, get the hell up out of my house. Now we see Laurel go over to Frank's house and she's looking around and she's like, Frank, you know, and the door is open. When she's walking in, I was like, Lord, I hope Frank ain't killed himself. But I know he's a main character, so I was like, okay, he can't be dead, can he? Because honey, you know Shonda kill a bitch off in a minute and it'll be a main character, so I wasn't really confident in that. But anyway, she's walking around, she's looking through doors and rooms and all that, and Frank ain't in there. She sees the closet door halfway open. I said, I know this nigga ain't did no little sexual asphyxiation in the closet. Okay, but when she opens the door, all of his stuff is gone. So Frank then hit the road. He was like, bitch, I didn't know Annalise long enough to know that this girl is capable of anything. So Frank is gone, on the run. And then lastly, we see Wes. Okay, Weston carried his ass to New York City, just like we said that he would. We see Mahoney coming out of his office. He's on the phone, busy, you know, with a business call. Wesley walks up to him. Mahoney is like, hey, can I help you? Wes was just like, well, I believe that I'm your son. Who tells people this in the middle of the damn street on a night in New York City? I mean, this shit is delicate. You know, Mahoney's looking at him like he crazy. What makes you think that I'm your father? Wesley starts to tell him, like, you know, my mom back in Cleveland or whatever, and then all of a sudden you hear a gun ring out, the spray of the blood gets all on Wes's face, and somebody just shot Mahoney in the head. And then he dead in the middle of the street, and Wes is standing there next. I said, you guys, that shit was so much last night. I was just like, okay, I'ma just, okay. Now I see that we about to go on to the, you know, we gonna go on to the subject of Wes and his dad and all of that now. Like I said, I'm gonna need them to rework these contracts, because these little 12, 13, 14 episodes is not gonna do it for me. Not for a plot as intricate and involved as this. Okay, we can't do this in 14 segments. I can't get my words together. We can't get all of the information that we need and for it to be clear to us in 14 episodes. Okay, Shonda, we would like you to expand this to 20 episodes like Scandal. This is just too short, but we gonna deal with it, y'all. What did you guys think about the season finale? Y'all leave it below. Anyway, you guys, yeah, I gotta get off of here. This is my 6th video. I cannot wait for this weekend. I need to catch up on this daylight saving time. Like, I'm just tired. So, hope you guys have a great weekend. Get off of here. Get back to work. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Rocks. The channel is Forts Rocks, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.